Oh, hi, Steve.
Hello.
What's good? What? Oh, you smell the almond butter, huh?
Yeah, it's dreamy.
It is, isn't it? I like almond butter.
I love almond butter.
Yeah. Do you like it as much as you like peanut butter?
I like nuts.
You like nuts? Yeah.
And legumes.
That's right. Almonds are an actual tree nut, whereas the peanuts are more of a ground nut or a legume.
Legume.
That's right. So I was
Not
thinking,
the almond.
not the almond.
The almond's a nut.
The almond's a nut. Yep.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Yep. Sometimes you don't. So I was thinking of making a 3-ingredient recipe. Want to help me?
Of course. Especially with the nuts.
So this recipe is for granola bars. These are soft, chewy granola bars that are made with granola, almond butter, and honey. They're very easy. Yeah, honey.
Honey. And nuts.
And nuts and some granola. You can make these with whatever type of nut butter you want. If you have a nut allergy or you want to bring them to a kid's school, you could even make them with sunflower butter, which isn't a nut, it's a seed. You like seeds? Yeah.
Sunflower seeds.
Sunflower seeds.
Not sunflower nuts.
Sunflowers don't have nuts.
Oh, okay.
Why don't we get to the ingredients? As you've already seen, our first ingredient is almond butter. Now, if you haven't had almond butter before, it's just the same thing as peanut butter. This one is made with almonds instead of peanuts, but it's exactly the same sort of thing. And Steve, I think, really likes it.
How many get the top off?
Our second ingredient is granola. You can use any type of granola you want to. It's good if you want to have any sort of additions to it, like raisins or nuts. This one has apples and raisins in it, which makes it like more of a breakfast granola. If you want to be a purist about 3 ingredients, you can just use rolled oats.
I like the way you sneak in those extra ingredients.
I do. Sometimes if you use a pre-made ingredient, you can sneak in a few more ingredients with your 3-ingredient recipe.
Semantics.
Our third ingredient is honey.
Honey.
You are going to use 1/2 cup of honey. I forgot to do the proportions in the other ones. It's also 1/2 cup of the almond butter and 2 cups of the granola. So it's 2 cups granola.
2 cups of granola.
1/2 cup of honey.
1/2 cup of honey.
And 1/2 cup of almond butter.
1/2 cup of almond butter.
You got it.
So that makes 3. 2 and half and 3.
That's right. You're good at math. I'm going to cook all of this in a medium-sized saucepan so that I don't have to dirty up another dish. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your 1/2 cup of honey and you're going to put that in your saucepan and heat it until it comes to a boil. Now, it won't take too long for this to boil, but while it is getting ready, we are lining a standard size loaf pan with some parchment paper. That'll make it much easier for these to come out. As you see, it didn't take much time at all for this honey to boil. So we are actually going to boil this for 1 full minute. So you may want to set a timer. If you don't, you can just watch the clock. You do want to stir this quite a bit while you are cooking it because it can burn really quickly. Once this is boiled for a full minute, turn off the heat, and then you're going to put your 1/2 cup of almond butter and mix that in until it all melts together. Now you're going to want to work fairly quickly and add your granola. This hardens up really quickly, so you need to stir in your 2 cups of granola and make sure that all of it gets evenly distributed. This is going to get very sticky very quickly, so make sure that you work as quickly as you can, but do make sure that you coat every piece of that granola as well as you can. As soon as you've coated all of the granola with the honey and almond butter mixture, just pour it into your plate, into your loaf pan. And then, being careful not to burn yourself, push this down as hard as you can into the bottom. The harder you press down on this, the better the texture of your granola bars will be. If you don't push down really hard on this, what's going to happen is this will get very crumbly. The texture is not going to be what you're looking for. You won't get that nice chewy texture. It won't cut apart as well as you expect it to. So just put a little bit of elbow grease into it. It doesn't take much, but just really push this down. And you're making one large bar so that you can cut that up into a number of smaller bars. Once this is all pressed in and ready to go, you're just going to pop this into the fridge for about an hour so that you can then cut it into bars. After your mixture has chilled completely, you're going to want to remove it from the pan. That makes it much easier if you have the parchment paper on the bottom. And then just take a nice sharp knife and cut it into bars, whatever size you'd like. You can serve these immediately, or if you want to save them for later, make sure you put them into an airtight container and they keep very well in the fridge for a couple weeks, or you can even freeze them for a couple months. So what do you think, Steve? Oh goodness. Well, I think Steve likes it. He ate the whole thing.
Yum.
Steve likes them. These are...
Can I have some more?
Of course you can, after we're done filming.
Oh, okay.
Don't want you to talk with your mouth full. So these are nice, soft, chewy granola bars. They're very soft. You want to keep them in the fridge if you are not going to eat them immediately. You can keep these in the freezer if you want to save them for a long while away.
Why would you do that?
Well, I know. I mean, Steve would finish them right... Oh, there he goes. And those ones are gone too.
Yeah.
So Steve got a little bit excited. He's eaten the whole plate of those, so we don't have any granola bars left. But we do want to see you again. Will you come back for another 3-ingredient recipe?
Sure, if you have nuts.
So,
even if you don't have nuts, I'll be back, but I'll be happier with nuts.
Okay, so Steve likes the ones where we make stuff with nuts. We have other folks who join me every Thursday for 3-ingredient recipes.
I'll even do the legumes.
He likes nuts and legumes and seeds.
Seeds.
He does like seeds. So seeds, nuts, legumes are for Steve.
And honey.
And honey.
And honey.
So Steve likes just about everything.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Remember...
Continue.
Are you going to let me speak?
Sure.
Okay. If you want to join us for other days, I talk about men's long hair on Tuesdays. And Steve also has a thing for hair, too. I don't know if he's going to use it for his nest or what.
I'll figure it out later.
And then our friend George, you know George.
I've never met him, but I've heard him through reputation.
Yep, George has a reputation because he wants you to feel good about yourself. And he's here every weekend.
Yay.
So thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So our...